Up in flames as an arsonist strikes at the heart of a charity in Adelaide's northeast. BP backflip. The oil giant abandons plans to drill off SA's coast. Will they or won't they? Commuters left in limbo as train drivers continue their strike threats against the state government. And teary testimony as the nation's cricketing elite relives the fateful match that claimed the life of Philip Hughes.
This is 10 Eyewitness News, first at 5, with Rebecca Morse.
Good evening. A heartless firebug has destroyed thousands of books and goods destined for foreign aid that were being stored at an Oakden charity. Police are investigating whether it was motivated by revenge. Gia Laux reports. Oil giant BP has announced it's abandoning plans to drill in the Great Australian Bight off the coast of South Australia. The backflip will impact hundreds of jobs in the supply chain, including up to 100 already employed to work on the project worth billions. Kate Summers reports. 2 men have been injured in a light plane crash in Port Pirie. Police say the single-engine aircraft was landing when it flipped onto its roof after leaving the runway around midday. Both men are from New South Wales. The 70-year-old passenger cut his head and leg. The 62-year-old pilot was taken to hospital as a precaution. A stolen car has been torched at West Croydon. Residents on Duncan Road were startled to find the small four-wheel drive alight just after 10:30. Police believe it was stolen from Enfield. Woo! If you're looking for something fun to do in the school holidays, Kate Freeman, you've got just the trick for us.
Well, Beck, this is about as tricky as I get. But these guys are pretty clever. That was a bad throw by me. I'm very, very sorry. He's usually really good at this. He's part of the Sir Kids. You've probably seen these guys around Adelaide. They are very, very talented. And these school holidays, you have the chance to learn some of their tricks, whether you're young or just young at heart. At Henley Beach and Greenacres, ECH is running a circus program with Sir Kids for kids and their grandparents. And today we went along to watch them learn all sorts of beginners circus tricks. They've been juggling, they've been learning how to throw and catch hoops, and there are more classes on tomorrow and Thursday. You just need to call ECH to sign up. If you're a grandma or a grandpa, it's a great way to keep up with the grandchildren, and it's something a little bit different to banish school holiday boredom. And apparently I need to sign up for one of these classes as well. My throwing skills need to be improved. Today's weather has been fairly cold. It's been very, very windy here by the beach. It reached 17 degrees in the city. Tomorrow's looking fairly similar, but there is the chance of a morning shower. Beck, I'll have more details live from Henley Beach at 5 to 6. I'll see you then.
Practice in the meantime. She can throw a ball on the netball court, however, I can attest to that.
Just got to have a go.
What's happening in sport, Nick?
The AFL trade period has continued over there in Melbourne. We'll have all the moves. Also, the Socceroos get ready to face the might of the Blue Samurai.
They're always good games. They're always very tight affairs, and we probably expect no different tonight.
Thank you, Millet. And the International Raiders hit the track ahead of the Caulfield Cup, the old Caulfield Cup. The spring is here, and plenty more later in sport.
Catch you then. Thank you, Nick. Still to come, the hurricane's gone, but Haiti's hell continues. A helping hand to clean out Virginia's flood-ravaged crops. And the Royals go to great heights to promote mental health awareness.
The New South Wales government is backing down on plans to ban greyhound racing. So what does the future hold for the industry, and what caused the backflip? Tune in tonight.
The first polls are out since Donald Trump's vile attitudes towards women were exposed. He's plunging in the polls, forcing even more powerful Republicans to turn on their own candidate. Amy Hosking reports. Coming up, an urgent warning from Samsung as its Galaxy crisis grows. Inside the top-notch medical facilities could help the city's sick avoid long queues in hospital. Plus, full stream ahead. Why the future of television is right in your hand. This is Adelaide's 10 Eyewitness News. Tonight's headlines. Police are investigating suggestions of a revenge attack on an Oakden charity after thousands of donations were destroyed by an arsonist. Test cricketer David Warner has told a coronial inquest Philip Hughes made no complaint about sledging before his on-pitch death. And BP has cancelled its plans to search for oil in the Great Australian Bight off the coast of South Australia, reducing fears of an environmental disaster coming at the cost of hundreds of supply chain jobs. A last-minute breakthrough in the dispute over train drivers' wages has averted commuter chaos planned for Thursday, but it's only given the government breathing space as threats to next week's timetable now loom. Caroline Morano joins us live from the Adelaide train station. Caroline, commuters are not in the clear just yet.
No, Rebecca, we've avoided one hurdle, but it seems we could be staring down the barrel of a second stoppage next week. And if that does happen, it could really throw a spanner in the works for back to school week.
Ravaged market gardeners north of Adelaide say they're racing the clock to keep their businesses afloat. The state government is offering $10,000 grants to start the clean-up. Alan Morrill reports. Adelaide's bulk billing GP super clinics are being underutilised while our emergency departments are pushed past capacity. SA Health hopes more patients will look beyond hospitals for treatment. Phoebe Bowden was given exclusive access to a clinic. Nick Butler is back with a look ahead to sport.
Hello again, Beck. Lots around. We'll have all the day's trade news after the break. Also, the Socceroos get set to take on the might of Japan. And Hawk star Jordan Lewis proves he's no one-trick pony. Yes, good evening. Well, the trade period has continued over in Melbourne today. Now, the future of Bryce Gibbs remains up in the air, while it seems emerging midfielder Jared Lyons is playing a bit of hard ball with the Crows. Here's Max Burford. Okay, a bit of racing, and Damien Oliver is confident he can claim his 5th Caulfield Cup on Saturday. Meanwhile, the International Raiders put through their paces at Werribee this morning. Catherine Firkin reports. Okay, the Socceroos are remaining coy on whether Timmy Cahill will start in tonight's World Cup qualifier against Japan. The team went for a light walk to stretch their legs this morning ahead of the blockbuster clash at Etihad Stadium in Melbourne. The Aussies will be looking for their first win over the Samurai Blue in 7 years.
It's one that I think both nations look forward to. They're always good games, they're always very tight affairs, and we probably expect no different tonight.
Yeah, the Socceroos are on top of their group, but are just 1 point in front of Japan. Well, it's always nice to get away to a good start, but this is just ridiculous. Thanks to Liz and Terrence. Well, tennis wildchild Nick Kyrgios says he's a changed man physically and mentally following his success at the Japan Open. Now, the 21-year-old's tough new fitness regime was richly rewarded in Tokyo, but Kyrgios says maturity and learning to deal with pressure from the media has helped him climb the rankings. There's no movement on Bryce Gibbs today, but we think that'll get done. It's just a real tug-of-war at the moment. And the women's draft, the first ever, on tomorrow, so that'll be interesting to see who gets picked up for the Crows.
Exciting time for women's sport.
Indeed.
Thank you very much, Nick. Kate Freebaum will have all of your weather details coming up after the break. Well, unfortunately, Henley Beach is still off limits for swimming after our spring storm. Kate Freebaum joins us with all the weather details. Kate, when's the water going to clear up for us?
Well, Beck, now it's been 2 weeks since that storm hit, but the water quality out here at Henley is still quite bad. Over the last few days, it has significantly improved, but the EPA says it is still unsafe to swim at. It's pretty murky out there, and it's a very similar story down at Hallett Cove, and that beach is also off limits. The EPA is automatically testing the water around the clock, and hopefully by the time the weather warms up a little bit for us at the end of the week, the warnings here at Henley and also at Hallett Cove will be lifted. Tonight's weather photo was snapped by Jenny Reeves. She took this shot in the sunshine over the weekend on the beautiful Kangaroo Island. If you have a weather photo that you'd like to share with us, the address is up on the screen. Today it's been another cool and cloudy day in Adelaide and very windy here by the beach. It reached 17 degrees in the city at 3:30 this afternoon, and currently it's 14 degrees in Adelaide, much cooler here at Henley Beach. Taking a look around the suburbs, the top was 16 degrees at Elizabeth and Glenelg, 16 at Murray Bridge 2, just 13 degrees in Mount Barker and 15 degrees down south at Noarlunga. Around the state, it stayed mostly dry today, but it's been cloudy with much cooler than average weather for October. It reached 19 degrees in Woomera and Port Augusta and 18 degrees in Ceduna. The top was 17 in Broken Hill, Whyalla, Port Pirie and Renmark, while Clare only got to 13 degrees. The top was 16 degrees in Maitland, Port Lincoln, Gawler, Kingscote and Keith. 15 was the top in Victor Harbour and Naracoorte, and just 13 degrees in Norriutpa and Mount Gambier. It stayed mostly dry right around the country. It reached 29 degrees in Brisbane, just 14 degrees in Canberra and 15 in Melbourne, so pretty chilly there. It was sunny though in Sydney and Perth, both hitting 21 degrees. On the satellite photo, the band of cloud through the south is causing patchy light rain, and today that's been mainly over our coast and ranges. We have a high pressure system that will build as it moves across our state tomorrow, and that'll keep things dry and settled, a fraction warmer too later this week. Interstate tomorrow, there'll be showers in Brisbane, Canberra, Melbourne and Hobart. It'll be a partly cloudy day in Sydney, but Perth is the place to be to get in some summery weather tomorrow, sunny and 32 degrees. Back in our state, we are expecting a few showers in areas south of Port Augusta. Maximum temperatures will reach 24 degrees in Coober Pedy, 19 is the top for Ceduna and 18 degrees for Whyalla and Renmark. Broken Hill's heading for 17 degrees, 16 is the top for Port Pirie and another cool one for Clare, just 14 degrees. Those showers will move right across the south, but they shouldn't be too heavy tomorrow. 17 is the top for Maitland, Victor Harbour and Keith, and 16 for Port Lincoln and Gawler. On local waters, southwesterly winds at 10 to 15 knots will turn south to southeasterly and ease in the evening with seas around a metre. There'll be a few showers around the suburbs with temperatures much like today, 17 for Elizabeth, Glenelg and Noarlunga, 16 for Mount Barker and 18 degrees for Murray Bridge. In Adelaide, there is a chance of a shower tonight. It's getting down to 10 degrees. Tomorrow's showers should clear up by late in the afternoon. We're heading for a top of 17 degrees. The weather's looking much better at the end of the week for us here in Adelaide. We can look forward to sunny days on Thursday and Friday with temperatures hitting the 20s, even warming up to 26 degrees by Saturday. We're expecting a sunny morning, but by the evening the weather will turn again with showers developing, and a cool change will knock 10 degrees off the temperature for Sunday, and those showers will stick around next week. So some interesting weather on the way. Beck, I'll have more details on that for you tomorrow night.
Like a yo-yo.